So what makes a great tiny home? Well, at Piccola Tiny Homes, we define that with three things: build quality, amenities, and the ability to entertain with pride. So in this video, I'm gonna show you our latest model, the Adagio. Now, I tasked my team to develop a tiny home that ranked high on all three of these aspects. Let's see how they did. So Ben, here we are, another build, our newest model, the Adagio. I gotta hand it to you, it's amazing.
Well, thank you, Jay. I really enjoyed designing this one. We wanted to carry over the design aesthetic with the metal siding and the cedar and just the overall look. We want to kind of keep that same look that everybody loved.
Okay, enough about the outside. Let's go inside. Check it out. Yeah. Yes, I mean, every time I walk in, I'm just like, it is so nice in here. We joke how like these tiny homes are like head and shoulders better than the homes that we live in. Again, testimony to what you guys have built. So yeah, this is the Adagio. Tell me about it. Like, talk to me about the design process.
So the design process for this one is I really wanted to create a space that was both comfortable and highly functional and easily accessible. So the easily accessible part was we didn't want any steps or stairs in this one, so that people could actually just easily get into bed, get out of bed. You can go on both sides. You have a nice living room area that you can have dinner in, or just, you know, enjoy watching a movie, that kind of thing.
I don't know if it's like subconscious, but because it is single story, it just has a different vibe to it. It just feels like a big wide open space. And speaking of space, like this is our largest chassis as well, right?
That's right. So this is a 30-foot chassis, and plus the front pop out, you get another about 2 feet. So pretty much about 32 feet long. This is our 8.5-foot wide version. We also do this in 10 foot as well.
Yep.
But this 8.5 by 32 feet, that single bedroom feel makes it feel like an apartment.
Yeah, so the center of most homes is the kitchen. It's where people gather, it's where they spend time. One of the big three is like the amenities. Now, just because you're living in a small space doesn't mean that you need to interact with small amenities. So tell me about this sink.
Highly functional workstation sink, comes with a whole bunch of accessories. So you get like a cutting board and a sink strainer and a bunch of other things. I really like big sinks because you just need spaces.
Yeah, it's why compromise on a small sink? It just doesn't make sense. You can do cooking on one half, dishes in another, and then obviously like these beautiful amenities. You have your pull out, you have your spray or your normal one. Now this one's unique. I see this air gap. That means we have something new.
That's right. So we have what's called a dish drawer. So it's a dishwasher, but it's a drawer.
This is amazing.
So this dish drawer here pulls out. Put all your dishes in here, close it, wash it, and you're good to go.
That's amazing. I love that. Once again, like, why don't we have dish drawers in my house? This seems so convenient. While we're here, we have now a 3-burner range.
That's right. 3-burner range, just a little more space so you can have some more cooking areas. And then our nice outlets here so you can plug in any appliances that you need right next to the range.
Yep.
We also have, of course, our spice drawer. So spice drawer, you fit a whole bunch of spices in here right next to where you're cooking, so you don't have to move very far. And then our big pantry over on this side.
Yes.
This is a huge pantry with lots and lots of drawers, lots and lots of space in it.
Yeah. And then we also have a fridge.
Yep.
Now we elevated this fridge just for accessibility. So it's kind of tricky to have fridges that have like, I like bottom freezer fridges. Right. This is the standard that we buy at, but we have elevated it. So it's just a little bit easier to access.
Exactly, access. And then we also included a drawer right on the bottom.
I love it. So at first glance, this is a microwave, but it is not.
Right.
Tell me about this.
It's a microwave, but it's also a air fryer, and a convection oven. So it does all three, and it's a vent hood.
So it's like 4 in 1. It's like again, I mean, it's an all-in-one. Why don't I have this? This is amazing. Like this is the appliance they have.
Yeah, I love when people ask me, they're like, well, what about an oven? I'm like, well, actually, we have this right here. And yes, it's a little bit smaller than like the one you'd find in a typical house.
Right.
But you still get all three in one.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then we don't compromise on storage. So above storage, below storage, storage all the way around. We can also add optional cabinets. There's an opportunity to add another set of cabinets, higher cabinets. There's lots of things we can do. This feels like the right mix of like a single person, an older couple, even like a family with a newborn could comfortably live in this, no doubt. Let's talk about the bathroom.
All right.
Okay, yes, this is a tiny home, but this is a big, big bathroom. I mean, once again, amazing job.
Well, thank you. We really wanted to make this easily accessible and enough space to move around and not feel cramped.
Yes.
Even the shower, we got a really big shower so that you aren't hitting your elbows. You can easily move around in there. Plenty of space. Our elongated toilet, which is super nice. And then of course, our medicine cabinet with the light and the defogger on here.
Right, it's lit, defogger, it's great. And then a big sink, we're not gonna compromise there. It's a big sink.
That's right. And
storage.
Of course, our washer dryer.
Yeah, so washer dryer combo. This is how homes should be.
Exactly, with the storage above and below it.
Yes, yes. And then of course we've got cedar ceilings, LED lighting. We have a automatic exhaust. Explain
so it's
that.
humidity sensing. So it actually senses how humid it is in here. And then when it gets above a certain point, it'll automatically turn on.
That's amazing. So just set it and forget it. And of course, it is a pass-through bathroom, which takes us into the bedroom. Let's check that out. Oh man, super spacious bedroom. This is amazing.
So we wanted to make sure, of course, that this is accessible. There's no steps or stairs to get onto the bed. Super easy to crawl in and out of this.
Bookcases built in, nightstands. This is amazing. And then we have this. Explain that.
Yes, so we have 2 AC units in our signature Adagio here. We have one in the bedroom and then one in the living room. So you actually can cool or heat both places at the same time.
Dual zone climate control, which is like a rarity. It's almost non-existent in a small space like this. But if you want to, take a nap in here and your partner wants to be in there, they can be at 2 different levels. Or if you're cooking, that might get more warm in there and you have a nice cool bedroom. So this is a huge thing. Also, I'm right at 6 foot tall and this is lots of head space. This is not cramped at all.
We made sure that we had plenty of space all the way to the end there so that you would never feel cramped. You have plenty of space on the bed. And also people ask me all the time, well, what about the closet? First, I'll show you a really cool aspect of this build that we did.
Okay.
And that is this opens up and there's tons of storage underneath. So, you can put like your seasonal stuff, you can put whatever you
decorations,
don't use, like, decorations,
you name it.
Something you don't necessarily use every day, but it's really easy just to raise and lower that.
So that's one of the things when people transition out of conventional living and into tiny living, their space comes down, but their stuff comes with them. This allows just space that's not ever utilized. Like typically a box spring would occupy this, but you bring your stuff, you can keep it here as well.
And then here we have our closets. So we have a nice hanging area here and then our big 3 drawers.
Yep.
And we also have a mirror image on the other side as well.
Right.
So you have his and hers.
Yeah. So you've got like close to 5 feet of hanger space
on
these closets and then all the drawers, of course. I also like that it's really close to the bathroom. So like in our minuet, you have it's like for a single occupant and we opted to have a closet near the bathroom and then also a closet near the bedroom. This like makes it feel more conventional. You're not going across the entire unit to get dressed in the morning. And then there's also natural lighting, lots of lighting, but also LEDs. Like this is a big thing. Tell me about those.
Yeah, so our LED lighting, they're super nice, warm. You can dim it as well. So there's a smart dimmer here. You can up and down, and it's just, you get lots and lots of light in here.
Yeah, and while I'm here, I'm noticing like the cedar ceiling, it's perfect. Like when you see like a cedar fence, for example, it looks like cedar fence, you get up close and it's pretty rough. This is like the best cedar I've ever seen. It's constructed impeccably.
Yes, so I want to shout out to our builders. They're just top notch, and they really take pride in their work and make sure that everything they do, all the attention to detail is really there.
Yeah, they truly are craftsmen. And that's a testimony to our hiring standards. Like, we're not looking for 20-year construction people. We're really looking for like craftsmen, people that really care about it. And we scrutinize our build team like no other. And this is what you get when you want to hire a great team.
That's right. So something that not a lot of contractors do, much less tiny homes, is we actually build everything ourselves.
Yes.
So we don't subcontract out. We do from framing to drywall to literally every single part of the build.
Yes.
Our builders actually do it, and they do such a good job.
So you mentioned at the beginning of this, the build quality video that I put together. Another reason to go watch that shows the processes behind the scenes of what makes Piccola Tiny Homes like remarkably different than other tiny home builders. Let's finish where we first started and take a look at the living room.
Let's do it.
Okay, so besides the kitchen, people obviously spend a lot of time in the living room. This is very spacious. It's got the bar at the kitchen. It's like an all-in-one cohesive living space. Very, again, pleasant with all the finishes and the design aesthetic.
So we wanted this to be kind of like a flex space, so people could either have a table here, or they can have a couch with a pull-out bed, or have a desk here, a whole bunch of different things that you can do in this area. You could even put like a nice big L couch, but we just wanted to make it comfortable and cozy.
Yeah, so speaking of bringing your stuff with you, if you have a favorite, recliner or love seat or something like that, you could bring it and it just feels good. You and I probably debate on this. I think a couch here facing this way would look great because from this perspective, the architecture, it's just like the vaulted angled ceilings, it's just an amazing living space. It's inspiring, it really is. So again, good job on that.
Thank you. Yeah, for myself, I would like to have my couch here and then a pull-up desk with a console cubby right over there, just like we have in our minuet.
Yeah, and if someone did want a little bit of customization, we could do that for them, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so let's talk about like, say that people wanted a little bit more or a little less. What does that look like when they work with us on these things?
So how that works is anything that is non-structural is pretty much doable for us. We can add cabinets, we can take out cabinets, we can paint the walls different colors.
Yeah, trim.
We can do different color trim.
Yep, different styles of blinds, curtains. We can do different countertops, you name it. But the structure, because it is engineered and approved of, that needs to stay.
Exactly.
We can tweak little things like window styles. You can really make it your own space. So before we go, let's talk about the different trim levels. So starting at the bottom, what do we have?
So we have our foundation. So our foundation is basically a shell. We completely finish and waterproof the outside. It includes the windows, the doors, all that kind of stuff. But on the inside, it's bare studs. We do that so that people can enter at a much lower price point and have their own experience of doing exactly what they want on the inside. And we'll help them with the permitting and how to get it certified and everything as well.
So that's a big deal because when it comes to tiny homes, anyone, any type of pop-up or general contractor can just say, I'm gonna build a tiny home. It's actually not that easy. And in fact, it could be dangerous because a poorly built tiny home, like we build these to withstand like a 9.0 earthquake when it hits the road for the first time. We're professionals, we do this. So if we build the structure and finish the outside, the DIY person can come in and really finish it out at their timeline, at their price point. It's a great experience. Talk to me about the second tier.
Okay, so our second tier is our canvas. And so that we do all of the trades. So we do all the electrical, all the plumbing, HVAC if that's wanted, and then we drywall.
Drywall,
so we go all the way to the drywall. And same with the outside, we completely finish the outside, waterproof the outside, includes windows and doors.
Yeah.
And then on the inside, what is left is to do cabinetry and flooring and just finishing out those last little details, which is still at a much lower price point than our move-in ready.
So I think of this one as like when someone buys a conventional home to flip it, obviously it's drywalled, there's things in place, maybe the cabinetry is old, they gut that and they start over. So a little higher price point, but you eliminate the liability of like miswiring it or having plumbing that leaks. We're the experts, let us do that. Next tier up, what does that look like?
So our Nest version, it is a move-in ready, which means you can eat, sleep, and enjoy your first night. And it comes with a little lower tier of amenities. So
not bad amenities, just like, for example, we don't do like premium quartz, we'll do butcher block.
Right, butcher block for our counters. We actually don't do cedar for our outside. We have a different type of siding.
What about cedar on the ceilings?
And no cedar on the ceilings. We do drywall. Exactly.
Yep, great.
And just a few other things like no skylight.
We kind of do this so that people can get in at a lesser price point than our signature series. We do that so that it's durable. That's one of the big things, got to be livable. But also just like, hey, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I don't know how long I'm going to own this. I just want to come in just a little bit below the signature series and still live comfortably and happily. Which of course brings us to the signature series. Instant fall in love with it, love at first sight. So really this one specifically tackled our big three goals. It's got to be structurally sound, like build quality is impeccable. It's got to have all the amenities, like nice countertops, nice things, full size things. And then it's got to be a space where you just really enjoy and you're proud of to have people over. Like tiny spaces, they're not naturally conducive to having guests, but this is amazing. This is like a 10 out of 10. Great job on that. So where can people find us?
So we have a showroom. You can actually come and see our models. Don't make an investment without actually seeing it.
Yeah, you should see what you're about to buy in person. Yes, that's a big deal. We can do that for you guys.
And online, you can find us at PiccolaTinyHomes.com or follow us on our socials at Piccola Tiny Homes.
Excellent. So like Ben said, we'd love to stay connected. We want you to come see one of these in person and fall in love with it. Like literally I do every time I walk in. This build's amazing. So until next time, live tiny and thrive.